gentlemen, you're welcome to the first ever episode of Fading Class. With me today are very amazing guests. I have with me Shay,
Hi guys.
Majid,
Hello.
and Veronica. Today we'll be talking about a very candid topic, and it has to do with relationships. So I would like to ask my guest, what's your opinion on the past? How much exactly do you need to tell your partner when you're in a new relationship, for example? Do you need to tell your partner everything about your past, all the sins you've committed? Or do you need to just say what is needed, maybe the past 6 months or something? Or will you just let the past stay in the past? Shine.
Okay, thank you for having me on the show. I'm really excited to be here. I have a problem with oversharing. I tend to overshare in relationships, and so I remember my longest relationship here. I felt that communicating, saying everything the way it has happened should be the way forward, because honesty is the best policy. But in time, I got to realize that that's not the right way to do it. So it's on a need to know basis. I tell you what I feel like you need to know now. But then when I was younger, I could tell you everything, who I've had sex with, all these things, like you said, that I've committed, and yeah, but not anymore.
Basically, now that you're older, you
Need to know basis.
Okay. So, Majid, let's know what you think about this.
For me also, I think it's on a need to know basis. If you ask, I tell you. If you don't, it stays the way it is. So it's not something that you have to just bring up the past and start sharing. I think it's not healthy.
Wow.
Veronica, what's your initial thought?
Okay, for me, I have a different thought. I think there are some things that are fundamental that you should have conversation about. And there are some things that are minor and you don't need to have. So an example of something that is fundamental is if you have a kid.
Okay.
If I'm about to marry a man and he has a kid, she should tell me he has a kid. I don't want to be married to somebody and 10 years down the line I found out that he has a kid or he has another family.
Yeah.
I think that those kind of things are fundamental. But there are certain things like the number of people you date.
Body count.
I think we should leave those ones in the past.
Yeah.
But fundamental things like kids, money that you've hidden away, I think that there's something. I shouldn't find out that you have a secret family. I think that those are things that I should be able to know about as your wife or as your partner.
Or if you're wanted by the police.
Yeah, have you committed a crime? Have you been to prison?
Yeah.
These are things that you
Yeah.
should tell someone. Have
Yeah.
you been to prison? Because they are fundamental things that would make or break a marriage,
True.
right? So there are something, marriage under false pretense, under the law. If you marry somebody under false pretense, then that marriage can be dissolved, right? So there's those fundamental things that will make or break a marriage. I think that should be a conversation starter for me. It should be a conversation starter.
Well, I understand what you're saying, really, and the all fundamental thing, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But personally, I feel like it's the past. The past should remain where it is. The past should just stay in the past. We are starting something fresh. We're starting something brand new. Why don't we just take it a step at a time? Why don't we take it from the day we met and we grow together? Okay, for example, I am a sickle cell patient. I'm definitely going to tell any man I meet that I am a sickle cell patient. Sickle cell is me, is who I am, is what defines me. It is not my past. It is always, it's my present, it's my future. A child, for example, is not your past. A child is your present, it's your
Those are
future.
fundamental
You can
things.
never classify a child as being in your past. So I believe that a child is not even something that should even be in a debate of what should be shared from the past or not.
But if you
But
look
then
at
it's
other
the
people's
past. Let me do that.
experiences, you see that people have hidden kids, people
Yeah.
have hidden families,
Yeah.
people have hidden properties from their wives or
Yeah.
their spouse. So those are things that I feel are fundamental. Like you said, if you're sickle cell, I think that's the conversation you want to have on the first date.
Yeah.
You don't want the person to have gone with you for 10 days
Yeah.
and then you spring that up on the person. Because the person also has to make a conscious decision to say, do I want to enter into this relationship or not?
Yeah.
And a kid is something that you can't hide.
Yeah.
You
That's
can't
what I'm
hide if
saying.
you have
It's
a
the
kid.
present.
It's
not
a
the
present.
past.
Yeah.
If you have a child with somebody, that person is always going to be in your life, whether you like it or not, with you and your spouse. So the person you're getting married to or getting to a relationship needs
Mm-hmm.
to know if I'm ready to carry this baggage on. Am I ready to be a stepmom? It's not everybody that is ready for that.
Yeah, very, very fundamental point. I also want to say thank you for sharing your story. You're like one of the strongest people that I know. You're a warrior. I also want to piggyback on something you said about if we meet, we should start. The past is the past. While there's some semblance to the truth to that, I feel like the past shapes, so many things. The future. Thank you. And I don't think you should say, "Oh, let's just start because we just met. Let's just start." No, there are things that you need to say from your past. You need to bring it to your present so that you compare and contrast. That's how I think, anyway, in my own opinion.
Okay, well, but personally, you've obviously had a lot of relationships. Okay, maybe I'm just trying to assume you're a beautiful woman.
Thank you. You
I
too.
expect a lot of men to have tried your luck.
A lot of relationship is like
Oh,
100.
all right, no, obviously, a lot of relationships will be like 3 years.
Okay, yes, 3.
My point is, have you ever been tempted to hide your past from anyone who's ever dated you?
Absolutely. Like I said, on a need to know basis. I used to be in a relationship with someone that I always shared like everything, down to the guys that I had made out with when I was in 100 level till my current, stuff now. And one day he used it against me in a conversation, weaponizing my truth,
Weaponize your
my
truth.
past. That is why I said it's on a need to know basis. I must have been able to connect with you on a level that I feel like you would not weaponize my truth or my past against me. And if I feel comfortable with that, then why not?
Majid, why don't you tell us? You're the guy here. Let us know. Have you ever been tempted? Who knows?
Yes, but the problem is sometimes you tend to hear stories outside. You tell someone how you feel about them, and then you tell them everything, and then at the end of the day, even things that is meant for the two of you, you hear it outside. And then again, I don't want someone I met new to know about my net worth. Let it not be that person is sticking around for what I have. So I feel like it's something that you should know in the future.
When we get there.
When we get there.
If we get there.
If we get there, exactly. If we get there. Yeah, so-
Veronica, have you ever been in such situation before?
But I think that the honest truth is, as the relationship progresses, you get comfortable with the person to be able to share something. I think there are some things that are not necessarily to be said on the first date. Yeah? Because sometimes you don't want to throw the person off, you don't want to chase the person away. You want so if I have a kid, I'll say I think that's one thing I may start on a date with.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a kid.
I'm a single mom.
I'm a single mom.
Yeah, let's know
okay,
where
this is
we
something I
stand.
want you to know.
Yeah.
Right? But then as you go on in the relationship, I think that you get comfortable with that person to be able to open up and share.
Yeah.
So there's overshare. There are some things that you don't need to overshare on the first date.
Yeah.
But with time and with progression, it's easier for you to. It will just even come natural that you would have certain conversations or certain episodes that will let you, inform the person about things that you've been through, and conversations that you want or what you don't want, like conversations around money, finances, conversations about whether you can tolerate domestic violence or not. I think that if people have experienced domestic violence, those are things they would bring up on the first date.
I really like when you're still in conversation, because now I would like you to just let me know, when do you think those kind of conversations should come up? Because, for example, I may just be too comfortable with the relationship, and I may not think it's time to talk about some things. For example, my net worth, I may not need to talk. I may be feeling, okay, he really doesn't need to know yet. Maybe I should just wait. Okay, maybe I should just wait until we're married.
Exactly. Talk about your net worth when you're married.
When do you think those kind of conversations
I
need
think
to come
that
up?
talking about your network, but I think that you should also talk about, with time as your relationship progresses, you have conversation about finances. If this is someone that you want to settle or spend the rest of your life with, you want to have conversations with, how are we going to spend our
If
money?
it were you, if it were you,
If it were me,
would you tell your partner in 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 1 year,
of
or when
Or
you
about
guys are engaged, when you're married?
I think that for finances,
Uh-huh.
is as we progress, right? So it gets to a point where you're going to be like, okay, let's have a conversation about our life, right? When we have our finances, what are we going to do? Are we going to have a joint account? Is he comfortable having a joint account? If we have a joint account, how is that account going to be regulated? Are we going to have a joint account and then we're still going to have our separate account? So that joint account is used for family running. I think those are conversations you should have. Because in marriages, you want to see that his money is my money his money. There's always that conversation.
Yeah.
You want to address those things
Yeah.
fundamentally, because when you don't want to go into marriage, then you start hearing, my money is my money.
Also, I think to answer your question,
Yeah.
you would know, like first date, second date, third date, you need to have dated for a certain level of time. You can't tell someone on the first
On the
date,
first date.
your net worth. I don't think that's before we even get serious. And I always ask this question: when do you realize that your relationship is serious? Like, is there like a timeline to it? Is there like a time frame to
I
it?
think that you just
There's no timeline.
You don't.
How would you know?
One thing will just lead to another, and
3
then
months
you'll
is
be
too
like,
small.
No.
3 months is too small for me to say I'm in a serious relationship. Let's pass the 6-year mark. 6 months. I'm sorry. Let's pass the
That's
6-month mark and then see if if we're strong enough to go through the current and the waves.
Yeah.
And then 1 year, okay, 2 years maybe. Then we can talk about we're in a serious relationship. That's my own talk, child. I'm just saying.
for me, I feel like if the feelings, are true, 1 month is enough.
No.
It doesn't have to be 6 months
agree.
now.
I
It
depends. Exactly. 1
You
month.
know.
I think you just know with the
Wow.
person, the magic,
Thank you.
you feel it, the
See,
energy,
Magic.
The chemistry.
the chemistry.
See,
I
you
think
need to
just
understand
know.
that when you meet someone for the first time, that period is still the honeymoon period. There's still butterflies in your tummy. You've not fought. Sex is great. The kissing is great. PDA everywhere. Blah blah blah. But then at some point, real shit gets into the mix, and then you know when you're serious or not. You can't say 1 month is enough time to say you're in love with someone. You are a lover boy, maybe, but I'm a strong girl.
Some people believe in love at first sight.
I do
Exactly.
not believe in love at first sight. It does not exist. Love is a choice. It's a conscious process. It's an effort. Love is effort. Make I not even speak too much English.
Okay, you just leave the topic alone. We're going to come back to another episode.
All right,
of
all
that.
right.
So let's just leave that one. Let's talk about the past right now.
Okay.
So I would like you to have this scenario, for example. You meet a guy, you guys are dating, maybe you dated for like 6 months,
Mhm.
and then he's insisting that he wants to know what your body count is.
3.
He's insisting, he wants to know.
I don't talk on it.
And then you finally told him
3.
it's this. And what if he's not even mature enough for that response?
Then
What if
he's not for
mature
me.
enough to-
Then the date is over. Everybody should go their separate ways. This life will be by force.
True.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
3. Body count. Ladies, your body count is 3.
It's always 3. So I heard for ladies, it's always 3. If it's
And
100,
for
then
men-
it's 3.
And for men,
2 maybe.
I think those are conversations that. What difference will it make?
Exactly. Are you expecting me to
It's not everybody
not
that
have sex
can
before I
take
met
it. Some
you?
people it would hurt them so bad.
exactly.
I've
People are
had
not mature
situations
enough
where
for relationships.
knowing someone's body count has ended a
It wasn't
3-year
meant to be.
relationship.
3
Oh my
year?
God.
Yeah.
Who said the truth?
She told the truth.
Ladies,
Ow.
your body count is 3.
I think
3.
that if the person really loves you, there are some things that are you going to be taking register?
Exactly.
No.
What's it concern you?
Doesn't make sense.
How is
It's
body
about-
count
It's about
a
that person is
prerequisite?
with you at that point.
Yeah.
And you should focus on nurturing your love
Yeah.
and looking at the
I
future.
like what you just said. Focus on nurturing your love.
Yeah.
See, when you're busy thinking about your past because you keep telling this new man about your past, wouldn't you be living in the past? How will you be able to focus on your new relationship? Wouldn't you be thinking about what you left behind?
I get where you're coming from, but I also feel like in that part where you're molding your new relationship, your current partner needs to be able to pinpoint something back. Like your past shapes your future. Now, there are things you may not tell this person, but things that have happened in your past that has shaped you to being who you are today, your new partner needs to know it. Like, because everything that's happened in my life, I'm 28 now, right? I didn't used to be 28. I didn't just wake up and be 28. I grew up, right? So everything that's happened in my life over the past 3 years has sort of shaped, my existence now. And if I'm trying to, and my perception about life, about love, about relationships, and if I'm trying to, explain who I am to my current partner, I need to draw inferences from what has happened in the past 3 years.
Sure.
It doesn't mean that I am lying to him or bringing the past into my relationship. It's I am growing with you, but I'm also teaching you that along the way, this and this and this are what I have learned.
So if you're having references from the past, maybe he's asking you about
Not body count, yeah. 3.
Okay. Okay, let's just give another scenario.
Okay.
Making references from the past.
Mhm.
You are telling your new boyfriend that when you had your second boyfriend, you once cheated on him, and then obviously now you're older, you're more matured, and you now know that it's really not worth it. Do you understand? Having a tit for tat issue, because obviously there are a lot of people that cheat simply because their partners cheated at home. But my point is, what if you're making references about that, about cheating? Don't you think your new relationship is going to use it against you?
Okay, so before I will tell anyone about cheating, we have to have gotten to that stage,
What stage?
that serious stage.
That's the thing.
Because everybody cheats.
When
Let's
do
be
you know?
realistic, right? Everybody cheats. Everybody has cheated.
Well, then
Now-
you're trying to reassure him that you're not going to cheat with him.
And that's the
However,
thing.
you're telling him that you cheated on someone
I may
before.
not tell him that now. I don't have to tell someone that. Abi, do I have to tell you that I've cheated before?
No.
If it comes up, we can discuss
When
it.
you're
If
making
you're
references from the past, from your past deeds.
But there are
And
certain issues that you can make references to.
References,
Maybe
yeah.
you've gone through violence in the
Thank
past.
you.
That's a conversation that you're supposed
And
to
I think
have.
that also
So that your new partner
would
will-
never he tries
Exactly.
it.
Mhm.
So,
him.
but tell him that you've cheated before and all
Need
that.
to know basis.
And I think that something else that you could say is communication.
Mm.
Maybe you had a communication issue,
Mm.
then your the person
Ex.
you've been with in your past, but now you want to have a better communication.
Mhm.
So you want the person to learn your love language.
Yes.
Okay, I had problems with the other partner I had. He didn't want to learn my love language, and I want to grow with you. So I want to learn your love language, and I want you to learn mine. So it's easier. So you're nurturing your love. I think those conversations are things that you could tell, and it will be easier because when the person knows your love language, then the person knows how to feed your love, and then you also know how to feed your love, his love. Because some people like gifts; they want to give you gifts. When you're giving gifts to somebody
That likes
that
acts of
likes
like touch, physical touch and
physical
quality
touch
time.
and
Yeah.
quality
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But when you do not communicate at that
Yeah.
level, and if you're someone who has studied and tried to understand your relationship, it will be really good for you to have those conversations to make your
Okay.
relationship work.
I like what you've taken. Majid, tell me, what if you tell a lady that you're just dating about your past, everything, because they wanted to know, especially, and then you laid everything out on the table for them. You told them everything about you, and you then said, okay, now I want to know about you, and they refuse to reciprocate. What are you going to do in that instance?
The truth of the matter is, I cannot even tell you the whole thing. I can't. I feel like
Okay,
you might not be able to handle it.
Even if it's just out
really?
of it. If it's just out of it that you say, and then the person refuses to reciprocate, what are you
That's the
going to
problem.
do?
Having that in mind will make me not to even tell her the whole thing.
I want to
Okay.
add something.
Okay.
Sorry to cut you short. I feel like when someone chooses to be vulnerable with you in a relationship or at the first stage, at the talking stage or whatever, whoever shows vulnerability should not be taken advantage of. And if vulnerability is not reciprocated, I'm not saying force vulnerability out of the person. I'm saying if over time vulnerability is not reciprocated, know where to draw the line. Know that this person may just be my
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
You know, I might not necessarily take it further because this person might not be on that emotional, vulnerable wavelength that I'm on. So,
Okay.
cut short.
But I have a contrary opinion. I
Okay.
think that you should also give people time.
Yeah.
Because it's not everybody
true.
that can share.
Yeah.
Okay.
So most times, if you meet someone who has been locked up for a very long time
Yeah.
and doesn't know how to share,
Yeah.
it will take some time for them to open up.
Yeah.
But then you have to take that first step to say, I want you to trust me.
Yeah.
And how do you make that person trust you? You're going to also share something of yours that makes you vulnerable.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then give the person time. And I think that if you
Absolutely.
give the person time,
Yeah.
with you going on your relationship, you'll see that one day the person will just open up to you.
Yeah.
Okay, in fact, this has been a very interesting episode. So basically, what we have agreed today is that we should just say fundamental truths on a need to know basis,
Need to know basis.
and then we should also give them time.
Body
Give
count
them
is
time.
3.
And
Body count
with
is
time.
three. We heard that body count is 3. All right, does anybody have any final thoughts?
That's it for me. Oh, yeah, I think I want to say that love is love. And like she said, give yourself time. Nowadays in relationships, people don't really open up because if you show too much vulnerability, you are weak. I disagree. You're human. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be heartbroken. it doesn't mean you should lock up when someone breaks your heart. And your body count is 3.
For me, it's just to enjoy the moment
Okay.
and
Lover
also
boy.
know that vulnerability is a strength.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Do you have any final
I think that you
thoughts?
should just focus on nurturing your love and giving time and understanding your partner.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
communication is everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate your candid honesty. I am so grateful. That's it for this episode, guys. So we're going to wrap this up. I hope you guys have your comments. I hope you can subscribe, and I hope you're going to be here for the next episode. Thank you. God bless.